The 3 areas of personal development. In your quest for personal development, there are 3 areas for you to consider. You can look at developing yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally. I must confess that I consider myself an amateur in this area. Because I was raised in a home filled with deep faith, my father is a preacher, a fact which makes me, for better or for worse, a PK, or preacher's kid. I was imbued with a love for God's creation. But regardless of your background, this book is written for people of all backgrounds and beliefs. I think you should evaluate what growth and change you want to make in this vital area. Spiritual and ethical values will help build a strong foundation underneath your quest for wealth and happiness. Physical self-development. The Bible teaches that we should treat our bodies like temples. And, indeed, the Jewish laws for hygiene are elaborate and specific. But beyond hygiene, I think we need to make a point of draping our temple, dressing in a way that's appropriate to our desire to succeed. Let's face it, how we appear to others does make a difference in terms of our ability to function well in the marketplace. In fact, there is another biblical phrase that tells us to take care of the outside for people and take care of the inside for God. People look on the outside, at least initially, and God looks on the inside, always. Now maybe you think people shouldn't judge you by your personal appearance. Well, let me tell you, they do. And because they do, you should make a point of looking your best. There are lots of good books on this subject, so check with your bookstore or library. Another aspect of physical development has to do with staying in shape. The body and mind work together. And for your mind to have the stamina to strive, your body should be in as good a shape as possible. Do you have a regular exercise program? If not, find one you can follow and get started. In addition, make sure you pay attention to the foods you eat and the supplemental nutrition you take. Mental self-development. For most people, mental development stops at an early age. Once they have a good job, it's easy for many to stop pursuing mental development. Have you heard about the accelerated learning curve? From birth to age 18, our learning curve is dramatic. We learn a staggering amount quickly, but as we grow older and find our niche in the marketplace, our learning curve reaches a plateau. In the past, if all you wanted was an average life, this non-growth mentality was acceptable. I say was, because that's no longer true. The last few decades of the 20th century are demanding constant growth and learning. As technology keeps accelerating the pace of change, no one can simply hold on to a job and expect that job to remain the same for 40 years. The "my grandfather used to work" or "my father works here and now I'll work here" mentality is dying, killing with it the hopes of those who are not willing to accept the need to grow and to adapt. On the positive side, can you imagine what you can become if you keep up an accelerated learning curve throughout your life? Can you imagine what skills you'll develop, what insights you'll have? Asterisk the easy way to discipline asterisk. Because forming the habit of personal growth will require the consistent effort that only discipline provides, let me give you a key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines and begin to string them together. Gradually, you'll discover that by tackling many small disciplines you'll have mastered a big one. I urge you to take on a small challenge, something you can do right now. And then take on another. After a while, when the big challenges come your way, you'll be able to handle them with complete confidence. Do you want to lose weight? Start by eating your bread unbuttered. Do you want to go to Europe? Start by setting aside $20 each week. Do you want to be punctual? Start by getting up a half hour earlier. Do you want to make $1 million sale? Start by making a $50 sale. As Robert Schuller says, inch by inch everything's a cinch. But if you never take the small steps, no one, including yourself, will trust you with the big ones. Don't be like the man who struts out of his house determined to straighten out the profit picture of the corporation when he hasn't even straightened out his own personal budget. Who is he kidding? You see, everything affects everything else. Every discipline, or lack of one, affects every other discipline. Mistakenly, a man says, "This is the only place where I let down." That cannot be. Every low standard will adversely affect the rest of your performance. Why? Because doing less than you are capable of doing creates lack of self-esteem. And lack of self-esteem is the greatest deterrent to success. Self-motivation. Recently I was on a lecture tour in Australia and was interviewed by the news media. They asked, "Mr. Rohn, are you one of those American motivators?" I said, "No, I'm a businessman. I can share my ideas and my experiences, but people have got to motivate themselves." It took me a while, but I finally realized that you can't change others. Lord knows, I've tried. Once I was managing a group of uninspired salespeople. Feeling challenged, I said, "I'm going to make them successful if it kills me." Guess what? I almost died. Good people are found, not changed. Sure, they can change themselves, but you and I can't change them. People ask me, how do I recruit good people, and I answer, you have to find good people. That's the best answer I can give. Here is the first rule of successful management: don't send your ducks to eagle school. Why? Because it won't work. All you'll get are unhappy ducks. They won't soar like eagles. They'll just quack, quack, quack. And then they'll poop on you. I know. I've tried. Recently, a full-page ad for a hotel chain caught my eye. The headline said, "We don't teach our people to be nice." Now that got my attention. And in smaller print the ad continued, "We simply hire nice people." Wow! What a clever shortcut! Motivation is a mystery. Why does one salesperson see a first prospect at 7 in the morning and another salesperson is just getting out of bed at 11? I don't know. It's part of the mysteries of life. I give a lecture to 1,000 people. One walks out and says, "I'm going to change my life." Another walks out with a yawn, muttering to himself, "I've heard all this stuff before." Why is that? Why wouldn't both be affected the same way? Another mystery. The millionaire says to 1,000 people, "I read this book and it started me on the road to wealth." Guess how many go out and get the book? That's right, very few. Isn't it incredible? Why wouldn't everyone get the book? A mystery of life.